To ND filter or not to ND filter? That is the question I'm answering today. Sorry this video is a bit impromptu. I don't even have a microphone on, but it was a bright, sunny day on the beach, and I was like, hey, we're gonna shoot some shots with the shutter absolutely cranked at 1/6400th of a second, and then we're gonna pop on ND 128 filter to shoot it at a proper 180-degree shutter angle to see the difference, or maybe there is no difference. That's the question we're answering today, guys. Be honest, leave me your honest opinions in the comments below when you see this footage. I'm not gonna label it at first, so you can really try to guess, is it A or B? But then we're gonna come back and discuss our findings and conclusions and get to the bottom of the question of, do you need to spend money on filters like this, or can you really just leave them at home and never have to worry about putting them on your drone ever again? Okay, so now you've seen the footage, I've seen the footage. I'm obviously in a very different spot waiting for sunset. I did wear the same shirt though, so got some continuity there. But either way, let's talk about the takeaways from that test. The big thing for me to answer is it noticeable? Do you see a difference between properly, 180-degree shutter angle exposed footage and footage that is shot using whatever auto is on a bright day, which is sometimes north of like 2,000, 3,000ths of a second? And for me, if you're looking for it, yes, 100%, you can easily see a difference. Now, if you're not looking for it, I think it gets a bit murkier. Obviously, you can see the streaking when the drone is really close to the ground. That is a bit more noticeable. Or if it's tilting or panning very fast, it's a bit more noticeable. But even then, I think largely the average YouTube viewer or social media viewer isn't gonna notice it in those situations, and also kind of has gotten used to seeing stuff with shutter speeds that are cranked, because a lot of the stuff that they watch is shot on a phone just in auto mode, and that's getting millions and millions of views and people don't care. So it's not really noticeable to the average person. However, if you then look at the two shots and try to be like, okay, which one looks like more something I could see on a screen, in a movie theater? Yeah, I think that's very clearly, like, I was watching the shot where it pans up from the waves, and for me, it was like, oh yeah, the one with the slower shutter speed definitely was clearly the one that seemed more filmic in that way. Now, the big question is, do you always need to obey the 180-degree shutter rule like it's something in a Bible and you're praying to it? Oh, I cannot stray from you. No, you don't need to. I largely don't shoot with ND filters when it comes to my drone footage, unless I'm planning on doing something that I think will be a shot that a lot of people will potentially notice the fact that I didn't have an ND filter. For example, I was shooting this shot of a lighthouse. It was late afternoon, but the sun was really bright coming straight at the drone. It was a sandy landscape, and I was like, yeah, I want to do a fast flying low shot, panning up and then seeing the lighthouse. And all those things are going to be things that are going to make it so you are going to notice a fast shutter speed. One, it's bright, so it is going to be a fast shutter speed. Two, flying low to the ground, so your drone is close to an object. That means from frame to frame, an object in frame will move further. And then finally, three, tilting the camera also just adds even more movement. Basically, if you're doing a shot like that, you're probably going to want to pop on an ND filter. Now, Other shots, if you're flying high, if you're just doing some slow aerial flyovers, you probably don't need to put an ND filter on, especially like, for example, I'm gonna be flying now at sunset, and I really don't use an ND filter anytime I'm getting closer to sunset because that light is dropping oftentimes so fast, and you only have a couple minutes sometimes with the perfect golden hour light, and spending time fiddling with ND filters, you know, popping a new one on, getting your drone up in the air only to realize it's now darker, so you need to put it, right? It just gets messy, especially with a drone like a Mini that doesn't have an adjustable aperture, or even an Air that doesn't have an adjustable aperture. I would say largely ignore the ND filters until you start noticing, maybe that's a little weird how that shot looks because of the fast shutter speed. Otherwise, it is a rule that is meant to be broken. It's just another tool in your toolkit. We get obsessed sometimes with these rules. You know, first it was like, oh, everything has to be 24 frames a second. Then it was like, oh, widest aperture possible, right? All these technical specs to make us feel like as artists, we are capable and we have value and we're doing things right. But they're largely just rules that are meant to be broken. If you like how it looks, shoot it one way. If you don't like how it looks, shoot it another way. The main thing to remember is you do not need to be using ND filters with video, and you definitely don't need to be using them with photo unless you're trying to do something creative. So hopefully this helped answer the question. I kind of just rushed this part at the end because I want to get up and fly before the sun gets too low. At the end of the day, if you don't believe me, go out and test it for yourself. I make these videos because I'm sometimes curious about rules and things that we've been told as videographers and drone pilots. And so I'm going to test it out, make a video out of it, put it on YouTube. Hopefully, if you guys appreciate that and you're still watching, leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Have a nice day.